Strength card. So I get this strong energy that Zayn kind of wants a new beginning with her, but he knows that she's very stubborn, and he knows that she can be once she makes her mind up, which is very Taurus, once she makes her mind up, that's it. And I see that very strongly about her. Hi everyone, welcome back to No Light Tarot. My name is Hallie, so grateful to have you all. Let's get into this reading. I'm really excited to be doing this. I am doing an update on Zayn, Malik and Gigi Hadid. So a long time ago, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I've always said this. I strongly believe that Zayn and Gigi will end up back together. I think it's written in the cards. They do have free will. Let me make this very abundantly clear, like I do in every video. They do have free will. Just because I see it doesn't mean that it will be. I pick up energies, and because of that, I am usually accurate. I'm not always accurate. I don't know why I had a difficult time saying that just now. Anyways, please like the video if you like it, subscribe, comment. Thank you to all of you who have been so gracious, kind, and sweet. I've received many great comments, DMs recently. I don't necessarily look for likes, and I don't necessarily need likes. That's not my personality. It used to be, but it's not my personality anymore. But when people reach out to me and they say, hey, you give me advice that I needed, stuff like that, that's the whole point of this channel, and I really appreciate that. So thank you to the members, thank you to the subscribers. If you check out my website, I do have a link to my website. We're currently donating to victims of the Hurricane Milton that just came through Florida. I live in Florida. Thank goodness I was not affected, but many people were, and it would be so great if we could all donate something, even if it's just $5, whatever you have, to these victims. Something worse than having your home ripped apart, you know, or stuff like that, or not knowing when you're going to be able to get home, stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so let's get into the reading. I am doing Gigi Hadid and Zayn Malik. Like I said, I've always predicted that they're going to end up together. Gigi is a sun in Taurus, I believe. Yes, she's sun in Taurus and he's a sun in Capricorn, both earth signs. I find it very interesting because Bradley Cooper is her current boyfriend, who is a sun in Capricorn too. I find it very interesting. Her mother's sun in Capricorn too, and I find it very interesting. Check out my video on Gigi Hadid and Bradley Cooper. I met him a long time ago. It's very interesting because I suppose that's why I don't watch movies anymore. I used to love going to the movies and I used to really enjoy them. But after meeting a lot of actors, not that I have anything against actors. In fact, a lot of people I've dated have been actors and they've been very sweet. Actually, all my ex-actors that I dated have been very sweet. But some I have not had the best experience with, and actresses I've not had the best experiences with. It kind of deters me from watching their movies. He's one of them that I did not have a great experience, and ever since then it's deterred me, you know. And it's something I need to get over, I need to work on, because they are different people. It's just something that like I said, I'm working on and growing towards. Even my exes that I've dated that were nice, I still have difficulty watching them on film, which is very interesting. I just feel like I recently watched a movie of an ex, and he's a great guy, phenomenal guy, but it was just so weird to see him. And it's funny because before we dated, I never really watched his movies, and yeah, it's weird, you know. So yeah, that's a quick explanation. So let's get into it. I've said that I strongly believe that they will be together. I strongly believe that he's working on himself. She has work to do on herself. I see that very strongly. So with the energy, I've pre-shuffled the cards, and I'm using this beautiful deck, Crystal Magic Tarot, that I always use. I really love it. Sorry if you hear my neighbors. I'm going to try to block it out as much as possible. My room, my apartment, is just above the courtyard, and I try to time it out so that I'm not right there when they love to have their hangouts. I don't blame them for having hangout. They're not really that loud, but I'm going to try my best to block out the noise. Okay, so sorry if you can hear it. They're not loud. It's just sorry if you can hear it. I can hear a little bit, and I apologize if you can hear it. Okay, so with the Fool, interesting. Under the Fool, this is their current energy. Under the Fool is King of Cups, and I was stuck on it, which is very interesting because I've never stuck it on anything, so I don't know why it has like sticky stuff. I don't know what that sticky stuff is. But Three of Coins and the Strength card. So I get the strong energy that Zayn kind of wants a new beginning with her, but he knows that she's very stubborn, and he knows that she can be once she makes her mind up, which is very Taurus, once she makes her mind up, that's it. And I see that very strongly about her, and she has to be kind of convinced, you know, in an easy, gentle way. He's very remorseful about how things went down, especially the older he gets, the more that time goes on, he is even more remorseful. I think that's a very Capricorn trait. I've had 2 Capricorn exes that I can say this about, that a long time ago. But I think I've seen in Capricorns, especially this one particular Capricorn, we were together for quite some time. When I broke up with him and I gave him my reasons, he was very defensive towards me, and it made me not really want to like him. You know, I'm friends with some of my exes. I'm friends, not friends currently, but I've been on friendly terms with a lot of my exes. But some, if they're defensive and rude, when we break up, I don't want to be friends with them, or if something happens. And he was very defensive, very rude when I broke up with him. And I wasn't the nicest in the relationship. I think we brought out the worst in each other. But I feel as though as we got older, as we like broke up and stuff like that, I tried my best to be a nicer person. I got back in therapy, I did a lot of yoga, I did some soul searching. So I tried really to be nice to him, and he was just very rude, you know, very rude to me. And I don't blame him, you know, who wants to be broken up with, but it just made me feel like I don't want you in my life. So after we broke up, he then became nice. He then came to his senses, and he then became a nice person. And he felt remorseful lots of time, like years later, like a year later, he felt remorseful, literally a year later, because I remember it was my birthday. And I see that happening here. I see it happening a lot with Capricorns. They can be very stubborn, and if you tell them the truth to their face, they're like, oh no, I'm not like that. No, I'm not like that. And then you leave, or you do your own thing, and then they start to be like, yeah, I actually am like that, you know? So I think he's starting to realize that he was the way she said he was. And I know that things got murky with the Yolanda situation. I'm not crazy about Yolanda. I'm a big Real Housewives of Beverly Hills fan. Those of you who don't know, who don't watch my channel, those of you who watch my channel, you know that. But I strongly feel like Yolanda knew what. That's why you should never go to your parents about situations that you're going through. But Yolanda had heard through Gigi what they had been going through, and she amplified it in a manipulative way. So that's what made him even more upset. I have another story, but I'll save it for another time when we're talking about Capricorns, because Capricorns can be very stubborn. I think the most stubborn sign of all is Capricorn. And they can be very defensive and very... My Mercury is in Capricorn, so I have to watch that. And sometimes I can come off defensive too. Therapy has helped me a lot with that. Is that if somebody comes to me, I don't have to be like, no, I'm not. I can just listen, because it's an opinion. If somebody says something to you about something you've done and brings it up to you, you don't have to believe it. You can just listen. That's something I've had to learn big time. big time, because there's no point. In fact, I had a friend, I'll quickly tell you a story. That's a Capricorn. I know Capricorns very well, actually. I had a lot of Capricorn friends, and unfortunately it doesn't really go well, because this trait I see very prevalent in a lot of Capricorns, that they can be very defensive. And I had a Capricorn friend too recently, and both of them, I brought up to them my issues that I had about our friendship, and very, very defensive. And it's just not appealing, you know. And sometimes you could feel like you're walking on eggshells around them. And I think that's how Gigi starts to feel. That's why Yolanda, who's the Capricorn too, very interesting, took it on. But now he sees. And now he's like, you know what? She was right. She was right. I am like that. I can have anger issues. I can. So he, in his remorse, he's dealing with it. But I see strongly here, the energy that I get is that Gigi, and I don't blame her, I would feel the same way. Gigi feels like, I can't trust you anymore, because when I was open with you, you were not receptive, so why should I even bother, you know? But I've seen that with a lot of Capricorns, trust me. I've seen it with a lot of Capricorns that I've known, that I know. I had a Capricorn, very good friend in high school, and long story short, I went back to, because I went to high school in South Africa, partially South Africa, and junior school. And I went back to South Africa. I don't really have any connection other than some of the family that I have still there, and some of the friends that I still have there. I think I have like 2 friends now in South Africa. Everybody else has either moved to England, or I just have more friends from New York and other places. But I went back to see some of them, and one of them in particular was a Capricorn, and she was just not responsive. When I told her how I felt, she was very dismissive, you know. And the sad thing is that when she came to New York to stay with me, I was very open. And that's what I've seen about lots of Capricorns. They're very, they can tell you, but as soon as you tell them, they can't handle the truth. And that's what I see with Zayn. Now, it doesn't make him a bad person. We all have traits in our zodiac that make us behave a certain way, in our Mercury, in our this, and our that. And I'm telling you, as somebody with Mercury and Capricorn, I used to struggle with this. I used to struggle with people telling me what I needed to hear. You know, it's also an age thing, but I see it a lot in Capricorns, that they struggle hearing the truth. And it's because they're stubborn. So with the future, I get Wheel of Fortune, the Hierophant, and Knight of Wands. I also got the Temperance, but I'll explain the Temperance later. So with these cards, I get definitely that they're meant to be together. Wheel of Fortune is destiny, you know, it's meant to play out. And with the Hierophant, which is the card of Taurus and Knight of Wands, he's going to have to go after her. And he's going to have to prove to her that, and some of you that are Zayn fans, I know you guys get very passionate and you don't think Gigi's right for him, but that's up to him to decide. You know, the best way to love somebody is to accept their decisions, whether you think they're dumb or not, unless it's like literally that they are doing something harmful to themselves. If you love Zayn as a fan, accept his decision. If he wants to be with Gigi, accept that. I think sometimes fans get a little too crazy with that kind of thing. So with Temperance and King of Swords, he's going to logically come to her, say, you know what, I messed up. And it's difficult. It's difficult for a lot of Capricorns to say sorry. That's something that I see, because they can be very stubborn. And they do have a very good side to them. I will say that. A lot of Capricorns are very loyal. If you're in their life, they're very loyal. They're very good with money. They have many great qualities, but something that Capricorns need to work on, Taurus sometimes too, but mostly Capricorns, they can be extremely stubborn and they don't know how to say sorry. So Zayn needs to work on this. And I have been critical of Gigi in the past. I've said things she needs to work on too. I think that she is too caught up in her mother's life, what her mother wants from her, which is also very Taurus, very materialistic. She's very materialistic. I think that's the foundation of the relationship between her and Bradley Cooper. But I really think if Zayn, I don't want to say man up, because I think it's just a mature thing, female or male. I think if Zayn stepped up and matured and just said sorry, said sorry regardless of the outcome, you know, because I think sometimes people say sorry because they plan on getting back together with that person. Don't do that. Just say sorry, because it's the right thing to do. And I see that. So let's see what the outcome is. If he says sorry, what is the outcome? She's going to really appreciate it. 6 of Coins, Knight of Cups, and 7 of Swords. She's going to appreciate it, and it's going to take some time to kind of chip away, because she's very like ice to him right now. But it's the first step to them being together again, is if he says sorry. So that's what I have for you guys. I have 2 great memberships. Please check them out. One of them is such a fun, very fun book club that we have. It's a monthly book club, so check that out. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.